At that time, Jesus withdrew to the region of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a Canaanite woman of that district came and called out, "Lord, have pity on me, Lord, Son of David. My daughter is tormented by a demon." But Jesus did not say a word in answer to her. Jesus' disciples came and asked him, "Send her away, for she keeps calling out after us." He said in reply, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But the woman came and did Jesus homage, saying, "Lord, help me." He said in reply, "It is not right to take the food of the children and throw it to the dogs." She said, "Please, Lord, for even the dogs eat the scraps that fall from the table of their masters." Then Jesus said to her in reply, "O woman, great is your faith. Let it be done for you as you wish." And the woman's daughter was healed from that hour. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
At the beginning of that Gospel, there's racism, and by the end of the Gospel, Jesus erases the racism. You wonder whether I'm going to reference Charlottesville, Virginia? I am. The situation first. Jesus and his 12 disciples were all born in the same country. And so therefore they were of the same race at that time. They were all Jews. So we had the 12 disciples and Jesus, all born in the same country, all of the same Jewish race. And they withdraw to a place called Tyre and Sidon. It's another country. And they meet a Canaanite woman, a woman of another race. All from one country, all of the same race, in another country, in conversation with someone of another race. And there's the conversation. But there are some words that are extremely harsh. In fact, they're even more harsh than they sound to us at first. It was Jesus' understanding, and certainly the understanding of the disciples, that his mission was to the people of Israel. His first mission, his first ministry would be to his own people in his own country. And then this woman of another country, another race, asking for a healing. And his words, "It is not right to give to the children, it is not right to give the food of children to the dogs." Comparing non-Jewish people with dogs. In fact, it's even worse than it sounds to us at first, because we like our house pets. He's not saying that she is like a cuddly little house pet. For them, the dogs lived outside. There were no dogs in the house. They were scavengers, they were dirty, they were diseased, they were to be feared. So not that cuddly little thing. We don't give the food of children to dogs. Then the conversation goes back and forth. So, watch what it does for the woman. Did you notice the woman did not fight back? She could have said, "That's what you people are always doing to us." Do you see that? She did not fall into that trap of the separation between you and us. She didn't go there. She didn't rant and rave. Rather, she said, "I need healing, Lord, Son of David." She called Jesus by a name that the Jewish people would have called Jesus. She did not get into this struggle of race, even though it was hurled at her. But she was called to a deeper faith in the midst of that. What about the effect on those who heard the conversation? Maybe Jesus is kind of saying this to the woman, and he's looking at his disciples. And he's saying, did you hear what I just said? I just said the same kind of thing that you guys say. And when you hear me say it, maybe you will see the harshness and the unfairness of your own words that you speak. Maybe that was an effect on them. Now, this is the third part, and this is almost really the part that I like best. What was the effect of that conversation on Jesus himself? You see, Jesus was born in a particular country, of a particular race, so he was born into that kind of situation. He was a countryman. He had his own country. He was of his own race. So he was born into the difficulty, the complexity, the challenge of interacting with those of another country, with those of another race. Now, I like to think that in the midst of this conversation, that Jesus is actually trying to figure out this whole thing himself. And that the woman brought him along. Wow. Being born in a certain country sort of primes us to have an affection for our country, and then also some kind of, at least fear of other countries, and maybe even disdain. And being born of a particular race has us feel comfortable with those who are the same race, and maybe have us feel uncomfortable with those of another kind, and maybe even move into disdain, just because we're different. So the effect on the woman, the effect on those who heard the conversation, the apostles and us, and the effect that it had on Jesus. As I say, I'd like to think that in the midst of this whole thing, Jesus is trying to figure out for himself that his mission indeed is not just to his own people, to the people in his own country, but the people of all the nations who give praise to God, by the way. But Jesus' mission was to people of all countries and people of all nations and all races. Charlottesville, Virginia. I was going to read to you actually a couple sections of a statement the Archbishop Schnurr, wrote and sent to us priests, asking us to share it with the people of the parishes this weekend, but the whole statement is in your bulletin. And so I do encourage you to read that, especially if you think you already know what it's going to say. And maybe especially too, as if there's something within you saying, I don't want to hear what was in that statement of the Archbishop's. So it's there, you can read that on your own. I would rather, at this moment, like to reference something that was churning in within me as it was on the Feast of the Assumption, which was August the 15th. This is about four or 5 days after the Charlottesville happening. And I'm taking some heart from the fact that Jesus trying to figure this whole thing out himself, and the woman bringing him to a better understanding, offers to me, to all of us, offers to me the grace of the freedom to take a look. It was on the Feast of the 15th, the Assumption, the Feast of Mary being assumed into heaven, being crowned the Queen of heaven and earth, being crowned the mother of all the living, not just the patroness of our race, of our country, but the mother of all the living. And I wondered how it affects the Blessed Mother. Whenever it is on this earth, she can see conflict between the children of the earth. How does that make Mother Mary feel, do you think? And do you know what I thought of next? is my own mother. My mom, there were 5 of us, and my mother would not allow one of us to say that we thought that Mom loved me the best. Now, of course, I knew that was the case for me, so I had to kind of But my mom would never like it when we would say that she loves me better than she loves you. She would not be happy if forever, with my brothers or sisters, I would ever insinuate or say that I deserve the best and you can have what's rest. My mom would not like that. And it would also, I would think, that it would have brought tears to my mother's eyes and a quick scolding to us if at any particular time we would have said something about a sibling. I hate you. Now, brothers and sisters, just don't do that. And would have brought a tear to my mother's eyes and a quick scolding to the rest of us. If any of us had said about any of the others, I hate you. You do not deserve what I deserve. Because I, for sure, am superior to you. I have a specialness that you don't have. Now, how about Mother Mary? I suspect that Mother Mary could look upon our earth, and last Friday, Saturday, she was looking on Charlottesville, Virginia, and she was weeping. May her tears be cleansing. May the tears of Mother Mary over the hatred that has been spewed, may her tears be healing for our country and for our hearts, for my heart and yours, if it needs healing. One of the things I've done since August the 15th is that I've been trying to pray a lot of Hail Marys, focusing on one particular line. And I try to remember to do this, call on Mother Mary to let her tears wash away signs and traces, words and actions of racism on the earth and for me. And it's the line that says, pray for us. And then it says sinners, of course. And I like to pray it when I see someone who is different from me. If I run into someone from a different country, I mean, I don't have to talk to them. Not that I don't want to talk to them, but I don't have to interact with them necessarily. But if I see someone that I think is coming from a different country, I try to go through a Hail Mary, and I especially want to say, pray for us. And notice I emphasize the us. So I didn't say pray for you or pray for me, because it's not them and us. It's like we're all us. Do you know what I mean? We're all, it's us. It's not them and you and they and us and it's us. And then it's also pray for us. And then when I get to the sinners, I usually try to focus on myself. Not on them, but on this part of us. Not on that part of us, but this part of us. And I also try to do it when I see someone whose skin tone is different from the skin tone that I have on the top of my muscles and the top of my bones. So when I see someone whose skin tone is a little bit different tone than mine, I like to whisper the quick little Hail Mary, and even if all I say is pray for us, I know I'm talking to Mary, pray for us, and connect us as us under one mother who weeps whenever the children are like that. That mother who weeps when her children are not like this. We just stand and we'll profess our faith on this day together. We make our profession of faith. I believe in one God, the Father, the Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, all things visible and invisible. I believe in one Lord, Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of God, born of the Father before all ages, God from God, light from light, true God from true God, begotten, not made, consubstantial with the Father, through whom all things were made. For us men and for our salvation, he came down from heaven, and by the Holy Spirit, was born of the Virgin Mary, and became man. For our sake he was crucified under Pontius Pilate. He suffered death and was buried, and rose again on the third day, in accordance with the Scriptures. He ascended into heaven, and is seated at the right hand of the Father. He will come again in glory to judge the living and the dead, and his kingdom will have no end. I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Lord, giver of life, who proceeds from the Father and the Son, who with the Father and the Son is glory and glorified, who has spoken through the prophets. I believe in one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. I confess one baptism for the forgiveness of sins, and I look forward to the resurrection of the dead